Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spark Chris. I almost said information, inspiration. I'm so excited for this new moon because this is a time where we get to decide what we want. Now, so many of us think we have a plan for our lives, right? And we follow a course of action because we think we should or we feel like we have to, and everything else falls into place. But this new moon is a time to take a fresh look at what we want for ourselves and compare it against our current situations. I did this when I woke up. I usually like to kind of like laze about, get a coffee, snuggle back in bed, watch a couple of videos. But what I find happens is I think and I convince myself that that's the epitome of relaxation. But what happens is my mind starts talking to me. There's perfect lighting for a video. And I really do like to get up and be productive, make sure all the cats are fed, have a shower, and get about my day. So what I did was I just visualized myself in my new Sun Tarot t-shirt, fresh out of the shower, setting up cards and creating nice reads and things for IG and getting my my moon mind map ready, and I'll go over that in a second. And what I'm going to do for you guys while I'm talking is I'm going to flip through this deck. It just popped up. I totally forgot I had it. I must have like boxed it and put it away immediately after I got it because the images, I never even had a chance to fully flip through this deck. So again, you guys, I decided what I wanted. I wanted to produce some great art and some great ideas today. And here's something else crazy that's happening on like manifesting right now. It's quite eerie, like what's been happening. I have this crystal book that I've been looking through and I love it so much. And I was reading this stuff on apatite because I feel like apatite is such a cool stone. And I was just thinking on it, pondering it. And then I heard this little ding and it was on my Etsy and somebody had just purchased an apatite necklace. And I'm finding this happens more often than not when I'm focused on a stone or a person. That person will connect with me. Somebody will buy that type of stone. A topic, somebody will come and connect with me. I was really thinking a couple days away away. I'm like already in the future. How about I stay in the present? I was thinking about Norway and the fjords because whenever I'm really hot, that one image, I'm going to flip through why I'm talking so you can see some of the artwork. So I was thinking about the fjords of Norway because whenever I'm really hot or uncomfortable, they're very peaceful to me. It's something about just, heritage and the place itself. And then I got contacted by this lovely woman from Norway, and she was just talking about some of her breakthroughs that she's discovering, a newly kind of enlightened state by dropping old baggage and letting things go. Again, this deciding what you want. The law of attraction tells us that we bring about what we think about. In other words, we're going to attract things that we put our energy into, and that's why it's so important to be clear on what you want. And she was doing this. So shortly after the clearance, her love came in, her love of her life. She understands what deserves her attention and what doesn't. She doesn't let other things deceive or waylay her from her path. And, just this beautiful kind of discussion ensued. And as other light workers and esoterics, you guys get that, right? When you just chime in with somebody and you really vibe with them. And it was so wonderful, but I thought it's amazing. The stones I'm thinking about, the countries, the people, they're starting to show up. I'm putting like focus and energy on it. And again, it's like take a picture or draw a picture with maybe the words old job on it and burn it or rip it up because now your intentions are set on your new job, your new life path. Whatever we thought we had to do or finish or create a certain way, it becomes an obligation, not a true creative joy, right? So that's what I'm learning to do. I love this artwork so much. And I feel like that's what this new moon is about. And if you guys weren't aware, over on my IG, I have a new moon spread special. And I think it's really important that we really take a look at some of these things, right? For instance, it answers like 10 different topics and then it goes on to some other things to the overall energy because it's such a precise time for clearance and I love it. And I'm going to be creating a full moon mind map, which means it's a visual tool and it represents, organizes, enlightens, and makes creative connections around like a central topic. And mine is definitely my use of time and not feeling hurried, harried, or rushed because I'll get like 3 great ideas and I'll feel like I have to do them all immediately. And then what happens, I get pressure and I don't feel like it's a fun, airy, kind of production, I feel like I then have to, because the idea came to me. So all I do is write it down. I'm like, you can get to it when you're inspired to that. Because of course you can't make a video, talk to a client, and make jewelry well all at once. And when you think you have to do it, it takes it away. So the process really taps into both imagination, right brain, and logical left brain. It's like a network of map of associations. And the mystic light of this new moon, which radiates inventiveness, it's going to assist you in this process. So just get a piece of paper and start thinking, okay, ask yourself yesterday, what did I do that made me feel stressed or was not helpful to me? And how can I kind of just eradicate that and let it evaporate from my agenda? Because again, being habitual, we'll tend to do the same things, even weirdly enough, if it's not helpful and even restrictive or harmful, because it's familiar. And our comfort zone loves us to stay there, right? It's like, yeah, you didn't really get a lot out of say sitting at the beach for 6 hours and reading a book and not reading or understanding anything you read because your mind was worried about bills, worried about your health, all of that. And I see people that do this, and I can feel that, being an empath, that people can read a book and not garner any information from it because their mind is somewhere else. This is about focusing your thoughts so you're really tapped into the beauty of what you're reading. And I got these 2 new books that I love, The Crystal Directory and Moon Spells. And I love them because they're so concise and like step-by-step things. So it's just a beautiful, airy read where stuff stays with you, and it's enriching information, So I'm trying to stay away from things that are like the news, that are heavier, that make me feel worried about the state of the world, my family life in general. I just don't do that. There's enough aggravating circumstances, and bureaucratic crap that can get clogged up. So we don't need to intentionally bring that in, right? And the new moon will help us do this. I particularly love this card, the 10 of Wands, not carrying that burdens. So let's say, what do you want? What vibrational energy comes through with you with this new moon? Do you feel adventurous? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel attractive? Do you feel depressed, empowered, generous, healthy, hopeful, intuitive, lonely, lost, super psyched about things? Write that down. And what is kind of initiating this? For me, it's when I'm just in my head and when I'm doing too much critical thinking or over analyzing. It's like, it is what it is. Nothing is meant to make us feel anxiety until we focus on it in a negative aspect too. So why should we? Let's take, for instance, our health. That's huge, right? A lot of people go, oh, I have this little headache. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be there all day. Oh, I wonder if it's going to stop me from doing A, B, or C. And then you get that kind of Woody Allen neurosis effect that keeps going. So you want to catch a hold of that, because what happens is, and I have clients that are doing this now too, they're snowballing it into their future picture of themselves, of being unsuccessful, of being lonely, of doing all this. And since what we focus on most comes about, why aren't we focusing about abundance? Why aren't we focusing about great love? Being, again, use your inner voice. I am capable. I can do whatever I need to do. When the time comes, I'm going to have all the assets I need. I'm going to have all the resources I need. I'm going to feel strong. I'm going to feel collected. A lot of athletes do this to kind of jazz themselves up before a game. I used to do this in gymnastics. That's why I love some of the music we played. I used to say, this is going to be so much fun. And this is such a great, group healthy aspect. It wasn't about who won or lost or who got the highest scores or any of that. It was like, look at us. We're out. We are getting healthy exercise. We are trying to raise the bar on a sport. We are interacting with other teams. We're learning about other people from other towns and states and all of that, and like really get excited about it. And I feel like this is the energy, because I'll tell you, I honestly do have things on the opposite end of the spectrum. If I start thinking like I have to be around a lot of people, like tomorrow Hagen goes for his shot. And I was thinking, oh, I don't particularly love large areas where people have anxiety. Being an empath, I'm like, I can protect myself, but I feel tired afterwards. And I'm going to be around hundreds, maybe thousands of people when we go in this big facility. It goes fast and everybody's very helpful, and I had a wonderful time. But people I was in direct contact before and behind me, I could feel that. So I have to distract myself with certain things, like thoughts of cosmic love and whatnot, No, I really do. I think of songs and I start to recite things, and I do things that like lift me. But again, tourmaline helps, citrine, all of those things. Comment down below what you guys think of this deck. Like, I don't even know what it's called. Now I have to look up my Amazon past purchases to find out about this, because I love this deck so much. I love it because it's very Arthurian. It's very it's beautiful. It's artsy, cosmic. It's very impactful. I love this deck so much. So anyway, you guys, I want you to decide what you want, okay? Have a plan. Assess your feelings over anything. Abundance, love. Is there any way you can change your life right now that reflects the life that you picture yourself having when you feel abundant, loved, and things are wonderful, right? Really start to think on that. And again, you guys, come on over to IG and check out my new moon spread. And it's only $25 and you get like tons of answers and tons of insights. I love when I'm making these, I'm like, what would I want to know about, and what would I want to integrate in, and what would I want answers to? And that's how I do these. And I love for people to be able to have a fun, affordable, really cool, concise, long, far-reaching type of read where it covers a lot of information. So go and check that out too. And thank you guys for all your great feedback over on TikTok, you know, an IG, and on Etsy, all of it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. And I decided that was going to be one of my things that I'm working on constantly. I always feel like I have a good sense of gratitude, but what I want to do is let my bad habits sail away. When we live day in and day out with someone, it's difficult to like overlook their less favorable habits, right? And one nice thing we can do in this phase of the moon is have a kind-hearted chat with our partner or ourselves about this behavior. And mine is when people come into the room and they want your attention for some reason, and I can tell, it can be any member, family, and they just want to chat, or they just sit down next to me. Sometimes I make this announcement: can we have silence for a little while I create this video, do whatever, and just do that, and but very kindly say, you know, I'm happy to hang out, watch a film, go for a walk, do whatever you'd like as soon as I complete this, but not like, what are you doing here, you know, like that thing, because a lot of creative people know you get that jam on and you're ready to go. You have those words, you have that channeling, you have that paintbrush, you have prose ready, whatever it is, and somebody comes in and you think, oh my God, is it going to leave me? But this is another thing you can write down. Your inspiration is not going to leave you. It is going to be there. But let other people know kind of like your artistic boundaries, all of that in a nice, kind way. And be kind to yourself and let yourself know that nothing has to be perfect. Perfection is just the absolute slaughterhouse of creativity, because we think, oh, this isn't good enough. I'm gonna put that in my crap warehouse and get back to it later. And I used to do this with a lot of jewelry that I made. If I had like a weird inclusion or a chip or something in a stone, I could have like spent hours making a piece, and then I'll notice that and be like, no way, I'm not going to have that in there. It has to be flawless. And then later when you look at it, it's almost like the beautiful I just need to take a sip of water. Hold on, my throat was like, American Indian traditions of leaving in a stitch that was flawed, or leaving something that was flawed, because it shows, you know, our humanness. Things aren't meant to be perfect. And when people, I'm almost suspicious of perfection. If somebody's like just head to toe all the time, it's like, where do they get the time to do that? And it's like just one of those things, you know, I get suspicious too. If I walk in a home that it looks like a palace and like nothing looks like it's touched, it almost makes me uncomfortable, because I feel like there isn't a naturalness to that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's just one of those things where let's really get in tune what makes us flow and makes us feel good and abundant and whole, and commune with that energy. And I love new moons, and I knew the moment that I opened my eyes this morning, no, let's get real, it was almost mid-afternoon, because I said I need to sleep. I have so much going on and I need my strength. I woke up all sporadically. Ian, no lie. He vacuumed. He put in a new printer. Print. He called his folks in England. Chat. And this was all going on all morning. So I was going in and out of sleep. And I said, listen, you have to give yourself permission to just get up and have a nice, beautiful shower and put on your sun tarot shirt and just start creating and feel good, and don't feel pressurized to answer anybody. Don't go on DMs. Just calm down and do your work as beautifully as you can, and then commence your day. Because new moons, I'm so excited for them. I'm almost like that horse coming out of the starting gate, like I can't wait to go. So I wrote down initially, as soon as I woke up, for new moon, right away, go slow and enhance the day. Have your coffee before the video. Have a whole cup of coffee and breathe, and don't just march in, you know. I love these cards so much. I love the Two of Cups card. I'm just pleased with this right here. Oh, so good. Just very like It reminds me of Lord of the Rings with a whole bunch of other just beautiful. It reminds me of a lot of video game stuff too, right? Just the rich, I love metals and fire and all of that. Really, really beautiful. Okay, you guys, so have a great moon and enjoy the video.